And here we are again, number 16 out of the 100 Lives Challenge. Hi, my name is Ingrid, and we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. Yes. Oh gosh, where do I start? I used to give presentations, and I was afraid of the Q&A afterwards, right? The presentation itself, you can prepare and you can rehearse that until you know it inside out. And I recommend you do that up to a point. However, a Q&A session, you don't know what questions they're going to ask. So that was very challenging for me, very. And up to a point that I said, no, I'm not going to do it because they are going to find out that I don't know everything. They are going to find out that I'm not the expert. They are going to find out I am an imposter. Yes, I had that syndrome for quite some time, actually. Until one time, I did give my presentation and crossed my fingers. I did the Q&A afterwards, and it went reasonably well. I was able to, from the top of my head, give the answers that people needed, except one question, and that was a question that was a little bit out of the scope of the presentation itself. So I said, no, I don't know that from the top of my heart, but if you give me your email address, I will share it afterwards. I'll find it out for you, and I'll share that within 24 hours. And that is exactly what happened. So trusting what you know a lot more than you think, really, really. And you need to trust that process. I talked about that in an earlier video before. But another thing that you can do regarding the Q&As is marketing. And that's a solution for imposter syndrome in general, because if you did your marketing right, the people that are coming to your presentation, whether it's in person or in Zoom, whether the people that come to your presentation are the people you invited, which is your target audience, right? So if your target audience is defined really well, remember in any marketing course, they always start with what's your why and who is your target audience, right? This is why. Because if you define them really well, you also know their fears, their struggles, their pains, their dreams, their hopes, and that type of stuff. So you can then go to ChatGPT and say, hello, this is my target audience. And you type in your target audience. They have these fears, this, or you can even ask ChatGPT, what are their fears, what are their dreams, and it will tell you that. So you have then a whole picture of who your avatar is. Of course, you need to look it and refine it and be as detailed as possible. And then you can also ask, okay, if I give a presentation with this and this topic, what could be the questions that they would have? And ChatGPT will then give you about 5 or 10 questions, something like that. The most frequently asked questions, probably, and that you can prepare to have an answer to if you're really uncertain. And I would recommend that. Even if you are doing a presentation like a webinar or something, and you do Q&A and no one is asking you questions, a very awkward moment, have five of those predetermined questions ready that everyone asks, and that are those type of questions you can get out of ChatGPT easily once you give the right input. So prepare yourself for that, and in that way you always have an answer. And if there is an answer that you don't have, or that is out of the scope, you can easily say, well, that is out of the scope of this presentation, but if you really want to know, send me a message in private and I will answer you. Something like that. right? So that lowers your fear of imposter syndrome, because there is a lot. You can prepare your own presentation. You can also prepare the Q&A by using ChatGPT. And if you do your marketing well, you have the right people who are just 1, 2, or 3 steps where you used to be a couple of years ago. So you know your target audience. Rely on that, and everything will be fine, and you will have no need to feel like an imposter. Okay? Cool. Have a nice day.